If you've ever felt like you started too late, failed too many times, or watched everyone else move faster than you, here's something worth hearing. That feeling has almost nothing to do with your actual life. It's coming from a clock inside your head that won't shut up. You should have figured this out by now. You should be richer. You should have a better job, a better body, a better answer when someone asks what you're doing with your life. Nobody else can hear that voice from the outside. You look completely fine, but internally, you're running a constant comparison against everyone's highlight reel. And one scroll through your phone is enough to wreck your whole week. A friend posts something that makes it look like they've escaped the exact confusion you're still stuck in, and suddenly your life shrinks a little. Not because you're doing nothing, because what you're building hasn't become visible yet. And that's the part everyone forgets. Progress, in its early stages, is almost never impressive. It looks like confusion, trial, error, adjusting on the fly, and pretending you've got it together, while you're still figuring it out in real time. Take Jensen Huang. Today, he runs NVIDIA, arguably the most important company in AI right now. People look at him and see vision, timing, intelligence, power. But at 15, he was washing dishes and bussing tables at a Denny's. A normal teenage job, nothing about it suggested future billionaire founder. And that's exactly what makes it worth telling. Because most people want proof early on that their struggle is leading somewhere. Life almost never hands out that proof in advance. Back then, Jensen wasn't a symbol of anything. He was just a kid learning how pressure works, how speed works, how to keep showing up for tasks that didn't look important yet. Even after NVIDIA launched, the story wasn't clean. There were bad bets, brutal market pressure, decisions that could have sunk the whole thing. If you judged the company in those years, you'd have written it off. That's the problem with the early chapters of anything. They don't explain themselves while you're living them. They just feel messy. It's only afterward that people connect the dots and say, well, of course it worked out in the moment. None of it feels obvious. It feels slow, uncertain, like you might be wasting your time. Steve Jobs knew that feeling on a different level. He built Apple and then got pushed out of the company he created. Not a minor setback, the kind of failure that attacks who you think you are. Imagine pouring your identity into something, becoming known for it, and then being told it doesn't need you anymore. Most people wouldn't call that a setup for a comeback. They'd call it humiliation, and for a stretch, that's probably how it looked to everyone watching. But outside Apple, Jobs built Next. He worked with Pixar. He kept creating while the world had mostly stopped paying attention, and eventually Apple bought Next, which is how he walked back through the front door. The chapter that looked like rejection turned out to be the reason he came back stronger than before. This is exactly why feeling like you're falling behind is so dangerous. Your mind takes one painful chapter and turns it into a permanent verdict. One bad exam becomes I'm not smart. One breakup becomes I'm not lovable. One business that didn't work becomes I'm not built for this. A slow year turns into proof that everyone else is lapping you. But your mind isn't always telling you the truth. Sometimes it's just scared. And fear loves a tidy conclusion. It wants to slap a label on everything immediately. Winner, loser, late, successful, failure. Real life doesn't sort itself that cleanly. You can be lost and still be learning. You can be doing something completely ordinary and still be building real strength underneath it. You can be unseen and still be moving forward. You're not actually behind. What's really happening is that you're measuring your life against someone else's timeline. Your parents, your friends, whatever's trending on your feed today. Use someone else's scoreboard and you'll find a way to lose every single time. So maybe the right question isn't am I behind? Maybe it's behind whose expectations, behind which version of success, behind a life you actually want, or one that just photographs well, because getting ahead on the wrong road is still a loss. You don't need to outrun anyone. You need to stop abandoning yourself every time someone else looks further along. That doesn't mean doing nothing. It means changing your fuel source. Motivation gets you moving for a while, but it burns hot and runs out fast. And somewhere along the way, it turns into desperation. You start copying people, chasing things just because they look respectable on the outside. Self-respect is a better engine, the quiet kind, the kind that says, my life isn't where I want it yet, but I'm starting from here and I'm not stopping. So start there, look honestly at what isn't working, build the skill you've been avoiding, fix the habit you keep excusing, make the hard call you've been putting off, send the application, try again. This time with less performance and more honesty. And don't panic if things still look ordinary for a while longer. Ordinary isn't the same as useless. A dishwashing job was part of Jensen Huang's story. Getting fired from his own company was part of Steve Jobs' story. Whatever season you're in right now might be doing something you can't fully see yet, teaching you patience, showing you what you never want to repeat again. Quietly removing the version of you that only wanted to look successful so the version that actually builds something real can take over. So if you feel behind today, breathe. Not because everything's about to magically sort itself out, but because your story hasn't stopped moving. This isn't the final cut of who you are. It's the working draft, the one still being shaped, line by line, in the days nobody's watching. One day, people might look at your life and say it happened overnight. You'll know better. It was built quietly, in the moments you doubted yourself, in the chapter you almost hated, in the version of you nobody saw working. You weren't behind. You were becoming. Drop a comment right now, promising yourself you'll become that next version, even if nobody's watching yet.